Hello, I am Quinny. Welcome to the channel. In this video today, I'm going to be going through the latest installment of this limited chat. We'll be checking in on the state of play, the kind of vibe around the community, what we think might be on the horizon, the progress bar being one. Division 5, we've had a good kind of feel around at it for the last month or so. How's all that kind of sitting? And yeah, guys, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. And let's get stuck into it. Now, my first kind of birth into all the limited stuff, you'll have seen it earlier on in this playlist limited chat. This is the third little episodes that we're dropping on it. As I tried to enter quite tentative, picking up kind of the minimum, but still having a bit of fun with it in terms of what I could get up and running competition-wise in D5. And we managed to do that with a good challenger kind of rig out, some Austrian cards and some Russian cards, which was good fun. And then later on, we had the introduction of La Liga, and I went out and picked up a bunch of those cards, and it's actually inadvertently left me in a really good spot. And I'm at a kind of crossroads now with what I do with limiteds. Do I maybe go and get in a couple of pieces and kind of arm up a little bit, or do I kind of steady the ship, and just try and navigate through as I'm kind of kicking on now. At any point in the video, guys, just before we get stuck right into it, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something, whatever, please do like the video. It goes a long way to helping other people find it. And if you like it, then so might they. If you've watched a few of these videos already and you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. We've got a lovely member section where we do some Y-Scout, deep dive analysis into SoRare cards and SoRare players, managers, clubs, all that kind of stuff. The podcast has just been launched as well. If you listen to podcasts anywhere, just search SoRare Pro or SoRare Procast and that'll pop right up as well, guys. So yeah, all the support you can give me, and hopefully you enjoy the content, of course. It means a lot to me. And yeah, so when I'm taking this kind of bird's eye view over my limited kind of rig out, I'm not looking at these ticket cards that I've bought for the stream competition and for myself to go and actually enjoy some football and whatever as well. But I always look at the ones that otherwise are not La Liga ticket cards. So the first thing I was kind of doing earlier today when I was thinking about doing this video and having a chat with you about limiteds and where we're at and whatever, I thought I would tally up exactly how much ETH I've spent on all my limiteds, and I've accounted into the fact all the rookies I've got here, and everything else in between, and in total I've spent 0.9671, which when I did the maths, and that was the sum total of it, it did kind of surprise me, and it did make me think, at the beginning of limiteds, would I have said I am going to dedicate an ETH towards it, which I pretty much have, I'd have probably said no, So I say it was that kind of twofold introduction to limiteds that I've had. We've just got one card over, having a page's worth, so we've got a Lucas Sucic back here, in case you forget about him. But having that kind of challenger U23 element at the beginning with the Austrian cards and the Russian cards, and then later on with the La Liga stuff, picking up some champion Euro, which is what they are, as well as some good global options. I've actually ended up with a nice kind of quite minimal rig out, So I think I've had a good exposure so far is what I'm trying to outline here to you guys of the competition thus far, with being relatively passive. I've not been knee deep in limiteds like I know some of you guys are, pulling prizes left, right and centre. I've been pulling prizes, don't get me wrong, and we'll come to that. But I think the initial kind of little berth I've had, I've managed to get a nice little kind of stable of goalkeepers. You look at my forwards here, I've got a good few decent little options, even if you forget about the ticket cards. Some nice rookies and whatever else as well. Midfielders and defenders, I think, are 10 a penny on the platform. You can get plenty of good ones out there that score well. But that realisation then brought me to, well, I know I've won some cards, so let me go and actually check out what cards I've actually won. And again, I went away and did the maths on it all. And in total, for the cards I've sold, I still got a reward that I've won that I've not yet sold. I've basically made one global D4 threshold, big threshold, 0.022 is what I've yielded. So that's like, 2% or so in the first month, which isn't terrible, considering how soft my approach has been. And the prizes I've won have been pretty naff, So Junior Moreno, Zachary Brout Juilliard, I've got 2 Ishmael Canduces, one I've kept, one I've sold, and Yuya Takagi. There we go, I said it. So not very much. But then when I actually look at the game weeks that I won, and I'm not going to dive right back into them all here, but I've been quite fortunate. I've had a few DNPs. I've won another card this game week in the limited prize pool for, I think, under 23s. And I think, again, yeah, I'm carrying DNP. No, I'm not. Well, Junior Adamu isn't too far off. So it's really funny because the prize pool is so wide that you can get away with having a few good scores and some letdowns, and you can maybe still get lucky and getting amongst something, which at rare level just is not possible. And that's something that I've kind of enjoyed. That like, as I've mentioned on videos before, the beginner ones and the startup ones and whatever. Like once I buy a rare or a super rare card, the first thing I do is go to Sofa Score and I follow the guy, and then I make sure I'm up to speed with everything. With the limiteds, I've not done that at all, so like the limited scores when they've come in are always like a genuine surprise to me. They're not scores I track, they're not divisions I really follow. I basically enter the best lineups I can, basically by name, like Zachariah, Christensen, Safanov, they'll go together, that kind of idea. And I've spoken about this recently, and this is the main kind of thing I wanted to start the video on, right? But SoRare has to cater for the passive user, and my passive experience as a limited card holder has actually been quite fun, because when I check in on the scores, because I've bought some good guys like Zachariah, Christensen, Safanov, Camavinga's done okay so far, and one or two others are escaping me, but even like some of the La Liga cards, like Jesus Navas has done pretty well, David Soraya, however you call him, bagging in a 50 without a clean sheet is a good score. That's my little Man City rig out. Quite far away from the points, but I think once I get Aguero on the pitch and he gets a card, maybe Aguero can make a difference to this team. That's not really the point of the video. But point being is, I've had a nice kind of introductory passive experience where, looking at how much I've spent, about an ETH, yeah, it's definitely a bit more than I would have liked. But if you think about the point of the limiteds as they were introduced was to reduce that entry point. And a lot of chat now on the market and on Twitter and the community and Discords and all this kind of thing is the price rise in limiteds. And fair enough, I've not got a lot of marquee cards there, if any, really, especially no Champion Euro marquee cards. Because guys like Wirtz and a few other guys are popping up at like half a coin or thereabouts, But to get four, I've got, every game week, I've got 4 lineups that are within a chance of winning something in Champion Euro, Challenger Euro, All-Star, and under 23. That's what I've got right now for my 0.96. And I think if the introduction of limiteds, if you gave everyone the opportunity to do that and say you'll have a rig out of your description, you can build it the way you want, the type of cards you want, whatever, most people would probably think, yeah, that's a good reduction of barrier to entry, because to get a D4, All-Star, under 23, Champ Euro, Challenger Euro, like, obviously there's a difference in scarcity and price bandings between limiteds and rares, of course there is, but even that scale up is so huge that I think for 0.96 it's actually a decent little kind of rig out. So in terms of the introduction kind of period as a passive user, I've had relative good fun with limited cards thus far, and I think the variety of options I've got already in terms of everything I've just described there, how competitive I can be, is really good fun. Now, one of the main things for the video today that I wanted to discuss was the kind of self-fulfilling prophecy that I see kind of happening in front of me. I see on lots of Twitter conversations, Discord threads, all this kind of stuff, and we're all talking about how limiteds are the new rare. So if you're new and you show up today, you've not been here for the last year and a half, 2 years, year, whatever, and it's only been rares. So the limiteds are your kind of starting berth. And we're all talking about how rares are the new super rares and super rares are the new uniques, and uniques have just went up a gear, etc. And the more that becomes part of what the community consciousness, which it most certainly has, you just need to look at the volume of limited auctions and, in equal measure, the reduction of rare auctions that we now have compared to previously. And that is very, very apparent. That is the dynamic that's happening. So as that becomes part of the conversation, the consciousness, the strategy, the game, a part of the game that we all accept as being true, then it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. That will be what happens, So these cards over time, like the big conversation now is, are they a bubble? Are they kind of popping up in price too much? Is the price level sustainable? How many have been minted? Are some of these limiteds actually more rare than a rare card? there's a lot of dynamics going on now, and I could talk about each and every one of them until the cows come home, and I'm sure you could too. But at the end of the line, or the bottom, at the end of the day, the bottom line is what people think is what is what becomes reality. And as long as the platform continues in the kind of vein it has in terms of continuing to push the boundaries, these this La Liga partnership, the ticket cards, all the stuff they've done so far. October's already teased to be an even bigger month than September was, which is to me crazy that can even be teased. Since the introduction of these guys, the platform is nigh on doubled. The 15th of August is when I bought my first limited. So if we even just go from that date there, we're looking at 24,000. I've got one card. Everyone loves this chart as a barometer on how many active accounts there is, etc. For me, it has always been that kind of 5 to 10 number is what you're really looking at in terms of active players. And if you look back here at the 15th of August, 5 cards or more, 13,000. And then you go up to here, and we're looking at 23,000, so that's a massive increase in active playing users. The reason I always like the 5 or the 10 more is because people have then went and got their free card, they're then onboarded, they're playing SO5, and those guys are like actual players of the game at that point. They're not passive, and everyone's got their own obstacles, their own hurdles, barriers to entry, that kind of thing. But as long as that vein continues and everyone who's onboarding is coming in and limiteds are their first kind of berth, then the pricing dynamics that we're all experiencing at the moment and we're all kind of pondering and discussing, it is really hard to properly gauge what is a short-term factor, what is a longer-term influence on the price, what is going to dictate and what is going to control the prices a bit more long-term. But I don't think it can be underestimated, the appetite for these cards. Like my cousin recently onboarded, and I watch a lot of you guys who have been struggling away with value rares, cheap rares, that kind of stuff, grinding, buying low, selling high, getting really stuck in. And now you've got the freedom to go and buy like Wirtzes and Neymars and Mbappes and all the good ones. You can go and get them all now. And the fun that I see so many people having at that level of the game is the fun that got me hooked on the game. And when we've had these bubbles and these rises, that fun has been a bit more exclusive to, you've got to have the cards to play the game. And I think on so many levels, the appetite for these cards cannot be underestimated, because everyone wants to have their favourite players. Everyone wants to express, the knowledge that they've got, the research they do, the opinions they hold on football, and who's going to play well this week, and forecasting and all that kind of stuff. And limiteds now just quite clearly have the best ability to fulfill that appetite that people have, So I can't say enough. It cannot be underestimated, the power that these limiteds have. And I've heard people in podcasts and streams and all that kind of stuff talk about how, over time, a limited scarcity of 1,000 isn't actually that huge. It's actually still quite small. And and like I said in these other 2 videos in the series, for the right cards, that is even apparent now. And it's very obvious with the Messis and the Neymar and the Mbappe types, of course it is. But as time goes on and as the head count continues to rise in Division 5s and progress bars and whatever else we get, then that field of those cards that 1,000 just isn't enough of is going to grow and expand. If there's 12,000 people playing Division 5, there is still only 1,000 per season of each card. So in theory, if everyone was to get one, there's still going to be 11,000 people of any one player in particular, a high, somebody that's got good appeal on the market, somebody who people want. There's still going to be 11,000 people without one until next year, So it cannot be understated enough that of 1,000 isn't huge. And again, people are already forecasting and hypothesizing about future scarcities next year or whatever. These are the comments on the last limited chat video we done. Again, comments, I'll feature them in the next video again, so drop them in the comment section down below. But hey, I picked this video up a week ago. This was a great time for Camavinga to go to Real Madrid. You were definitely right there, but the video is about a month old, so you're kind of cheating a wee bit with that. This was the tip I got for Duvikas, so thank you very much to Tej van Sloten, because Duvikas has been brilliant for me. I got him really cheap. He's worth a good bit more now, so thank you very much. And Ken Young says that the last video was just some useless rambling. So that might even be a repeat comment that we get for this video, potentially. So So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And FS Grimbo dropped in. Great video as always, mate. Turn my nose up at limiteds at the beginning, but now I like to pick some up for under 21 players at really low prices. That way, if limited cards do decline in value, I protect my investment in some way. So yeah, I kind of agree. I like my rookies and limiteds, and I like my kind of younger cards as well. But I do like I started my kind of strategy with. I got like my Man City guys, and I got my Spartak Moscow guys because I watch a lot of Spartak, and also those ex-City guys are all league winners, and I just love a bit of that in my club and all the rest of it. So guys, get involved in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about limiteds, where you're at. Is there something I've missed in the video? Is there a point I touched on that you'd have wanted fleshed out a bit more? Drop in the comment section down below and we'll pick up with it on the next video. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
It's the power